This is Laney Goldrapper sitting in the Cox's Street seat, hand up for Princeton. Hand goes down by Sasha Vishwanath in the Newcastle crew. Go! So it's Princeton University B crew and Newcastle University A. Cam and I were just enjoying the sound of two explosive eights moving like a steam train pulling out of the station.
I wanted to say listen to that noise, but then I didn't dare to say listen to that noise. I just wanted to listen to it. What a beautiful sight, seeing two very high-speed student men's eights get off the blocks at Henley.
Jack Gilligan stroking that Newcastle crew very, very aggressively. They want to hang on to Princeton. Princeton had a slightly faster start, it looks, although from the angle it can be deceptive. I think there might be a seat up, but it's very, very early in the race, and it's very, very expensive, these few strokes, when you're getting the boat up to speed. So you've got to get it up to speed fast, but then you've got to transition to something you can sustain.
Absolutely, and from a physiological perspective, that first sort of 10 seconds or so, we're really trying to be aggressive to get that stationary hull out and up into the water so we can create maximal boat speed. But then once that body is sort of anaerobically respiring, so just producing energy without oxygen, it's filling full of lactic acid, and that's the balance that rowers have to do in these demanding races, is combat that lactic acid as they come through that first few minutes of the race.
So Newcastle have got to keep their heads cool and their minds clear, sitting half a length down on the Tigers of Princeton. See the stars of the Newcastle blade in and out of the water, still very aggressive at this point in the race. They've really got to get that transition, but they can't afford to lose out.
We can see the really nice concept, two oars, those green sleeves. You just appreciate how they're a bit more square than they are round, and that just ensures that those blades go really precisely from perpendicular to the water, or square, and then they come out and they go horizontal to the water, or parallel to the water, in a feather. So that's square, feather, square, feather, and that creates that lovely metronomic sound of the eight that we're so accustomed to.
So we're riding here with Newcastle, but we can see to the right of our picture now, looking back at that start zone, that Princeton B still have the edge. Newcastle haven't let them slip. We're passing the barrier. It's just over 600 metres into the race, and you can see from the marker board there those two coloured signals, number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is lane 1, that's Princeton's crew, and just overlapping them is Newcastle in lane 2.
After the barrier, we can see the Princeton crew, mixture of that heavy and lightweight eight, really having a nice high pace, super long stroke to me. Even in this shot, it looks like there's a really good sense of length and lean on that stroke as they're coming through the middle of the drive face, when they're really pushing those legs down.
So at this point, Princeton sitting ahead of Newcastle. Newcastle need to maintain that overlap so they've got a chance of really attacking well. And the Cox there, sitting there, Shashank in the Newcastle crew, well, he is really critical at this point. It's up to him to keep the athletes really focused. Most of them now won't be able to see out of the corner of the eyes. The stern of this Princeton boat, the yellow Empacker of Princeton, has now got some clear water advantage over Newcastle. Princeton looking very aggressive.
Princeton looking really strong, and dare I say it, they look so simple once again. One of the things that can sometimes be talked about in rowing is the technical mastery of lightweights, and I wonder just whether there's a little bit more technical proficiency that's come from that lightweight combination and put that into the power of those Princeton athletes, those heavyweight athletes as well. They look as though they're rowing really nicely.
I just heard the umpire warning Princeton there as we look at the face of Shashank Vishwanath Prema. They're urging his crew on, giving them all the information they need, but it really is time for a move from Princeton. So he's asking them that question. The question is, can they respond physically, mentally, technically at this moment in the race? Through the halfway mark, Princeton is still leading. It looks like they've got now some clear water, just looking to see that signal number 2 coming up. What's the gap going to be? Well, pretty much a length of clear water between the crews now. So it's time for Newcastle, and they've got to really respond. They've got time to respond if they can get it together.
And one of the themes that we'll probably see through the regatta is just when that crew is about a length of clear water up, that's just where you want to be treading the line, by moving into a little bit into the middle of the station, but staying on your side of the river, just so that you give a little bit more bumpy water down to that other crew. And the cox there, Laney, is giving a really nice balance of that, keeping her crew nice and level on their station, but also just being a little bit cheeky and a little bit aggressive to make sure that they're giving as much disadvantage to the other crew as they possibly can.
Princeton can't relax, and Newcastle can't afford to take the foot off the gas. It's going to be feeling very, very painful now in that Newcastle crew. But look at the focus. Everybody's absolutely committed to the crew around them. Princeton, well, are they tiring a little bit? It's been quite a hard push for them, and they haven't been given an easy ride by Newcastle here. 3-seat of the Princeton University B crew here is George Middleton, one of 3 Middleton brothers racing here today at Henley. His brother Freddie in the Shiplake crew won earlier. Is he going to also be able to win here at Henley as we look down towards the finish line from behind the crews on the umpire's launch? Princeton sitting just over a length ahead of Newcastle, not long to respond now. You can see the mile and an 8th signal coming up, not far to go.
And hopefully viewers can start to appreciate that noise that just crescendos as we come through that stewards enclosure. I love these US-UK or international and UK rivalries. We get lots of crowd getting engaged into cheering their crews on, particularly as they're coming through those enclosures, and that absolutely feeds into the athletes into the closing stages of the race.
So Princeton B, Laszlo Wenck, John High, George Middleton, Charles Miller, Robert Powell, Keelan Good, Patrick Shaw, stroked by Jelmer Benema and coxed by Laney Goldrapper. Looks like they are in a comfortable position now, just the last maybe couple of 100 metres remaining. Laney's still slightly straying over towards the middle of the course, but not troubling the umpire. The flag stays in the bag for the moment. Newcastle, they've really tried to respond, but I don't think they have managed to move on Princeton B. So it looks like the Tigers are going to be taking this one by the tail.
Yeah, it looks to me like a very good win for the Princeton Tigers. I think Laney is coxed an absolute blinder by the looks of things. I would love to be sitting in that boat, having that line. Really nice job from all 9 athletes.
And it's only now that young men of Princeton can really relax and enjoy the view of the finish line as they go through, just to lengthen a little bit up on Newcastle University. So well done to Newcastle, really hung on well through that. Princeton were pushed and pushed and pushed.